Hey guys, it's David here. Welcome to my daily update where I build $100,000 a year business live in public. And how these daily updates usually go is that first I go through your questions, help you with make scenarios. Then I go through my YouTube stats and then I do some strategy, life work, or just talk about whatever. And let's check the question first. Let's check my YouTube channel. Let's see. I'm checking the daily update channel. So basically you can either send me email or write a comment on this channel and then I reply, help you with whatever you need. There are no new comments, and let's check this one. And there are no new comments either. So what I do some of the days is that I go to this extremely smart and talented and handsome man, Nick Saraev, and I check his daily updates. I see.
Dealing with scattered SEO data and tools.
Nope. I see what are the comments on his channel and I just try to give my thoughts. So Sakibal Mansour says, "Hey, everyone talks about building these AI systems and selling them for X amount of money. Could you please tell me how do you deliver your automation for clients? For example, you created a custom chatbot. How would you integrate this on their website, and what are the steps to make sure that the client's data is secure, private, and also how do you make sure that the automation is error-free?" Yeah, a few things. How do you integrate it depends on what the automation is and what is it doing. Usually you'll be building something in Make or N8N. You would want them to have their own account where you paste the automation, connect their account, and you should be good to go. How to make sure that client data is secure? It really depends on what industry you're working in, but for most part, the security that is kind of guaranteed by these tools, be it Google Sheets that you may be integrating with Airtable, etc., should be enough. But there are exceptions to this. So if you're working in some fields that are very heavy on data protection, you obviously need to do your own research. And how do you make sure the automation is error-free? You just try to test it, test the most likely scenarios, test also the edge scenarios. A lot of the times, actually, from the edge scenarios, you can notice your mistakes. So you will test the edge scenarios. If it doesn't work, you'll see that there's a mistake. It will force you to think about where exactly you made the mistake. That being said, it's very difficult if you're doing anything more complex for it to always be 100% error-free. So just be okay with the fact that there may be errors. Make sure that they're not critical errors and guarantee your client that you will fix the errors. Nuka is saying, "Hey, quick question. When you're setting up a campaign in Instantly, is there an ideal time to send emails for better results? For example, does sending them early in the morning help get them to the top of the inboxes?" For me, the approach kinda is always just start sending and see how that goes and worry about this kind of stuff later, right? So that's what I would recommend. First of all, second of all, I would say that definitely work days are better if you're targeting B2B. Work hours is better in general. Monday morning and Friday evening will suck. Friday afternoon, because Monday morning everyone is just coming to work, being bombarded with all of those. Usually there's some weekly catch-up meeting and there are emails that are unresponded from the weekends. Same on Friday, everyone just trying to leave. So I would say whenever between like Monday 1 p.m. and Friday like 11 a.m. 12 p.m. should work the best. But yeah, to be honest, I just start sending the emails. Worry about this later. You may have seen in one of the last videos that I made the email campaign that I was sending it on Sunday just to get the feedback as soon as possible. Luca is saying, "Hey, quick question. I took your podcast repurposing engine and significantly improved it. Now it's capable of generating auto-cropped video clips instead of just static images. That's cool. I don't even know what this video was. Also, since I'm based in a different country, I'm not sure how to approach them through cold outreach. Just do cold email. That works in any country, really. Regarding of who to sell it, podcast repurposing engine. And so what it does, it's generating auto-cropped video clips instead of just static images. Just do it for any creators that are doing the podcast, and either sell it to them as a service of doing that for them for some channel, or some of the creators offer some rewards for you repurposing the videos on your account and getting views. So you can agree with the creator that for every 1,000 views, they will give you $1 or something like that, and then just pump it out on as many media as possible. Rusa is saying, hey, I started using Godspeed and I love it already, but I think my core issue is that I just need a better method to manage my to-do list. You and Matt have talked a few times about the now, soon, and later to-do list separation, but I think my general flow is the problem. What I will do is when I have an idea that needs to be added to my to-do list, I just set it for immediate next time slot so I can quickly bookmark the idea. Then I end up with this huge stack that becomes overwhelming. What's the method to your madness when it comes to to-do lists? Really depends. I don't think that there's anything that's wrong with your method per se. I just think that once in a while you need to reflect on all the tasks that you're doing and see what can be optimized, learn from the tasks that you've done, because sometimes you do a task and then later you found out that you never had to do the task in the first place because the task wasn't adding value. Secondly, some of the tasks you will find out that they're quite repeating, and either they can be automated or they can be delegated to someone. So that's what I would target. I would actually just keep going with what you're doing. Just if you have any task, just write it down and then use this to the for the future. Des is saying, I feel like we're seeing a lot of ways to generate clients for ourselves and not actually our service, the lead gen system, which is great and valuable, but how are we actually scraping the clients, especially for recruitment and for B2B SaaS, for example? Scraping the clients, it's the same as scraping your own clients, to be honest. It depends on who the target audience is, and then just use the exact same tools as you're using for yourself, be it Apollo, be it LinkedIn, to get the clients of your clients, right? For instance, for recruitment, there will be kind of two verticals. One will be potential clients, so companies that they will work with, but also potential candidates, right? That they will be selling the candidates to the companies. So I guess for the candidates, you will find them on LinkedIn. The companies, you will either do LinkedIn or Apollo, which uses LinkedIn anyways, or just any other B2B intelligence tool. Gabia Jando is saying, thanks for the answer. The CPA is totally true. I'm running ads at the moment, and going backwards is actually, I started with the hardest outreach methods, I guess. Even though my ROAS has been positive, I was looking for alternatives. So thanks for sharing your thoughts. Okay, no question here. And here it's, I like your approach to sales where you position yourself as equal to the client and not dancing monkey. I think it's a crucial component in any sales. How did you learn to apply this tactic? Maybe you can relevant some content on this topic. I think, as with everything, first of all, Hormozy has some good videos on sales. Second of all, you will improve by doing the thing over and over and over. I think Nick was doing door-to-door sales. I was doing phone sales, which I by no means am expert at sales, but just over the period, I was doing the phone sales for like 4 months or something, and every day it was like 8 hours on the phone, just dialing and dialing and dialing. And I think 4 hours, 5 hours of that was actual call time per day. And yeah, it's like when you do hundreds of calls a day, not hundreds, but maybe, it would be like 120 dials a day, maybe from that like 60 connected calls. You tend to ramp up the experience quite quickly, and especially if you're having some time to actually reflect, you have some feedback loops, then that's even quicker. But yeah, that's all for the questions. Now what I will do is do my YouTube statistics, and I have a feeling that I actually didn't grow today at all, which is kind of disappointing after yesterday's astronomical growth, but that's fine. We still have 230 followers on the main channel, and we have 6 followers on the daily update channel. I guess you can't have a good growth every day, right? And strategy, life, work, freestyle yapping. No, not really. Nothing for now. That's all for today, guys. Thank you very much for listening. And if you have any questions, as always, let me know, and see you guys tomorrow.